Welcome. I'm Nathan with Akashic Trancework, and I wanted to take a moment to be a little bit vulnerable with you and tell you about some of the struggles that I've had in my life and some of the solutions that I found through trancework practices. So, for the first, honestly, 40 years of my life, I was afflicted by depression, by anxiety, by PTSD, by explosive anger, by many other complexes of the mind that arose from some deep-seated childhood trauma, some abuse that I had received. And I spent many years being victim to these feelings, feeling like I couldn't get out, like I was trapped beneath the conditions, beneath the reality of the things that had happened to me in my life, in my childhood. I felt stuck. I didn't know how to enjoy life. I didn't know how to thrive. I continually lived in a survival state, always trying to fight or hide or flee from whatever situation felt threatening to me, no matter how non-threatening or actually beneficial it might have been. My ability to interpret things was off, completely skewed, completely unrealistic because I didn't have a perspective. I didn't understand that these experiences are largely about identity. I identified myself as a sick person, as a person who was afflicted, who was victimized, who was being attacked by these forces outside of my control. My identity as a mentally ill person, as a sick person, held me back. It limited me from being something else, from actualizing my full potential. I'm not trying to minimize this struggle. I know it very well. I know very well that it is a biochemical reality. It is a specific experience that many people go through. I don't think that anyone who has never dealt with chronic depression or anxiety can really understand the physical reality, the physical sensations that occur when depression and anxiety happen. You can't think outside of it when those moments happen. You can't intellectualize those experiences away. You can't be talked out of it. When you are depressed, you are down. When you're anxious, you're elevated. In reality, there are two different approaches that I've found personally that help me most when I work on these processes within myself, when I go within and explore what I need to release, what I need to let go of. These practices involve reframing our core beliefs, as well as looking at what we're carrying in our bodies, what we're carrying in our cellular memory, what we are holding on to because of the things that have happened to us, because of our conditioning, because of our trauma. Much of my trauma came from early childhood sexual abuse. This creates an identity. It creates a level of shame, of fear, of guilt, and disempowerment. That's really what it's about, right? When we are feeling victimized by life, by the conditions, by our own minds, we feel disempowered. We don't feel like we are being seen, like our needs are being met. So what happens? Well, a lot of different things can happen, but often we'll lash out or we'll have panic attacks, or maybe we go into a depressive funk for days or even longer. Maybe we make impulsive, destructive decisions. Maybe we resort to self-medication through drugs and alcohol. There are so many things that arise from this early childhood disempowerment, and so many of us struggle with these things. In the past, I've been very easily triggered into panic attacks, into stress responses by triggers, by things, people, places, ideas, concepts that really have nothing to do with the original things that traumatized me, but there's an association, there was a connection there. And I continually drew these experiences into my life. I continually allowed these things to take over, to rule my life. I mean, I went through the entire gamut of experience. Most likely, if you could imagine something self-destructive that someone can do, I've probably done it. Part and parcel of being mentally ill, being hypersensitive, is being very spiritually sensitive. There may have been a time past when people who were mentally ill or crazy would have been considered shamans or teachers or oracles. In our society, we have a very narrow perspective and a very narrow description of what reality is, of what reality can be. But in other parts of the world, historically, it's been a bit broader. There's been a place for people who are sensitives. Our version of reality becomes more accepted because we are seeing things that others can't see. However, when we are conditioned to believe that we're crazy, when everyone's telling us a story about our diagnoses and the medications we should be on and all these ideas about who we are and what we've done and what our capabilities are, we begin to believe it. And that comes down to this process of reframing our core beliefs. We have to reframe our core beliefs in order to move through this. And that's the first part of this process, the first part of this release work that we focus on so much in Akashic Trancework. How can we move through these challenges? Well, one of the best ways that we can do this is through this belief reframing. We take a core belief that many people who have been traumatized have is, I am not worthy. I am not worthy of love. I am not worthy of abundance. I am not safe. And we take out the negatives. We take out the not statements, which are not very strong statements anyway. The subconscious mind does not do very well with negations, really at all. So what we do when we go in and reframe these beliefs is we find an alternative belief. We find a new belief construct that allows us to shift our perspective a little bit, to change our viewpoint, to reframe the experience. We can't change what happened to us. It's there in our bodies. Even the information from our ancestors, everything that's happened to us ancestrally and through our past life experiences is with us. So as I've opened up some space in my heart, and that's really what it's about, is going to the heart center and aligning and then grounding and centering. We talk about that a lot in Akashic Trancework. Where do we start? Where do we stop? The heart. So we go into that space to do this reframing work. We create something new. We create a new belief construct, but we still need to work a little bit deeper. We still need to look at what the body is telling us, because physical sensations, more basic primal emotions like fear, anger, sadness, these feelings are communications from the body. They are actually part of your vibrational awareness. This work can be done fairly quickly, and you can experience rapid change through going into these subconscious and unconscious processes. You can experience rapid change that can often take years and years of therapy. I spent many years going to therapy and trying different modalities, studying many different mystical and metaphysical schools and philosophies. And I never really found that one thing until I began to understand that all the power is in here, in here. It's all we need. But sometimes it's helpful to have a guide, to have someone to hold space for you. So we are here to activate your higher awareness. And part of this is looking within. Part of this is to release those things that no longer serve us so that we can expand into a higher dimension of being, into a higher vibration of being, and thrive. We want to move from this survival place that so many of us have been in for generations and generations. We want to move from that survival place into a place of thriving, of joy, of beauty, of bounty, of abundance. We can have these things. These things are our birthright as human beings, because you deserve abundance. You are worthy. And I truly believe this. So if you are struggling with depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD, any of these things, or if you are struggling with debilitating grief, if you've lost someone, or if you just need someone to talk to and to help you understand some things that have happened to you, let us know. We're here to help you go deep. as deep as you are ready to go, in a gentle, loving, heart-centered, compassionate way. It's our purpose to alchemize and transmute denser energies into a higher vibration, if you know what I mean. So we would really love to work with you to find ways to help you move through whatever your challenges might be. So feel free to reach out to us and let us know how we can best serve you. We are offering an Akashic Trancework intensive this fall, and that takes you through 9 weeks of very specific processes intended to teach you how to go into trance states, how to set astral boundaries, how to work with your guides, how to create these special things called astral purpose temples within your mind that allow you to focus your intention to manifest the things in your life that you are trying to work towards. In that process, we release all of those limiting beliefs and cellular memories that just don't serve us. They drain our energy. And then we take a nice, long, compassionate, loving look at our ego self, at the inner child, and see what changes can we make just to thrive better, to be better people. And then we go through integration processes and into an initiation where we explore the Akashic records. We learn how to access our past lives and connect with our ancestors and our spirit guides and our star family and light beings, and how to cultivate more presence and more heart energy, and yes, how to read the Akashic records and do energy healing and guide others through trance states if you so choose. It's a great process for seekers, for mystics, for sages, for anyone who's trying to connect to their spiritual consciousness through scientific methods, proven methods that we've been able to help many, many people with. Feel free to reach out. Let us know how we can help you. We would love to take some time to connect with you. If you'd like to meet with me for free, you can go to akashictrance.com and click on any one of the services that we offer as a by donation service. And we never turn anyone away. We're happy to speak with you, do a reading for you, show you some very simple heart coherence practices that you can do anytime, anywhere. And if you'd like to work with us further, there are many ways that we can create a custom trance work experience just for you. So thank you for taking some time to view this video. We deeply appreciate you and the energy and light that you bring to the world. Until next time, deepest blessings.